Hello, everyone. I'm Anoth, and today I want to be a little bit more specific about the verbiage that scammers use in romance scams. Some of the comments that I'm getting back seem that they have a hard time understanding how it is that someone like me or other men and women fall for these scammers. And the answer is it doesn't happen overnight. When you start getting messages via WhatsApp or Hangouts, these guys start very slow and very general. They'll start saying things like, if it's a famous person, they'll say, "Thank you for liking my fan page. I appreciate you being my fan. What kind of song do you like?" Or what kind of movie of mine do you like? And if it's a normal person, they'll start by saying that they are attracted to your picture, that some of the things that you post or put on your page, if it's Instagram or Facebook, that they can empathize with, or that they like what you're posting, or they'll make comments on certain things that you posted to get you to say something back. In my case, again, my case was through a famous singer. So this particular singer, when we started writing back and forth, we were on Instagram for about back and forth for about 2 weeks on Instagram. So he really took his time to get me to trust him. He would make comments on some of the things that I posted on my page, or he would say things that would keep me engaged, like where did you go out today? What did you do with your son? Did you go walking with your dogs? Because when they start getting to know you, they'll find personal information, like in my case about my son or my dogs. Or I would tell them that I'm a gardener, so I would make comments about me going outside and doing some gardening work, or took my dogs for a walk, or so they would ask me questions. Did you take your dogs for a walk, and did you see your neighbor, or did you see your friend? Did you go out to dinner, and did you take your son? And what did you have for dinner? Did you order red wine with your meal? So these were the kinds of comments or questions that they would make. And then, of course, they were very general questions. And then once I did move on to Hangouts, then the questions were more personal, about my sons, about what their names were, and what were their likes and dislikes. What were my likes and dislikes about his music? He would ask me, what did I think about a particular song that he wrote? What did I think about a particular concert that he had at a certain city? So, and then of course we would talk about his ex-wife, and then in turn I would talk about my ex-husband. And again, the personal conversations going back and forth is the kinds of conversations that you would have with someone that you would be dating, that you would be getting to know them, about, again, their likes and dislikes in food or wine. Do you drink red wine, or do you drink white wine? Are you a vegetarian? What color of flowers do you have in your garden? Or sometimes it would be silly questions like that that makes you think that, they actually care about what you're saying, or if you say something, then they would ask you another question of the topic that you guys are discussing. And we would talk about, at this particular time, it was when in the United States we were going through our voting process with Trump. So we would talk about Trump. And since I was hoping that he would win, so he would give me his opinion on what he thought of Trump. And then the process of his country's voting process. So, again, we would talk about politics, or we would talk about history. He is a big historian, and so am I. I'm not an expert by any means, but I love history. So we even talked about Hitler and the atrocities that happened in Germany and how things got started in that country. And so, the topics were not just very personal topics about, your color, the color of your eyes is they're beautiful, or not that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, real meaningful conversations. We would talk about my dogs. And of course, he would talk about dogs that he had in his life, and then my cat, and just different things, different topics that you would talk about. And we would message several times in a day. I went back and I counted. I spoke with this person 10 times. We wrote to each other 10 different times in one day. And so this is the kind of stuff that when you are continuously conversing with this person, writing back and forth, getting to know this person, and in hopes that maybe it will lead to a romantic relationship, then you start divulging different kinds of other information, more personal information. And so this is the kind of things that I say that when they're grooming you, is because they're trying to get to make you trust them, because they're asking you all these kinds of personal questions. And then, of course, for me, I saw it as this man really is listening to, not listening, but he's actually paying attention to what I'm writing and what I'm saying. And he is getting to like what it is that I'm saying, or things that I don't like. Because again, if you are trying to develop a relationship with another person, you talk about likes and dislikes. And so when I would say, no, I don't like this particular movie, or I don't like this particular song, then he would in turn would say, well, why don't you? What part of it don't you like? When I wrote this song, this is when, of course, I'm thinking that I'm talking to this famous singer. And so he would say, when I wrote this song, this is the thought that I have behind writing this song. And he would ask my opinion about it, and I would give him my opinion. And then he would in turn, again, it's just that back and forth, that give and take that you're doing with another individual, and you share different kinds of information because you're thinking that it might lead to a relationship. So this is what I'm talking about when I say they're grooming you. It doesn't happen overnight. Most of these guys take their time, and of course your time, but they take their time in getting to know you, in grilling you in certain information. So when they in turn say, I trust you, I know you're not going to hurt me, you're not going to hurt my feelings, because we're in a we're getting to know each other and we're in a relationship. And so they throw this stuff back at you. And when they do this is when they make you doubt yourself, because you start, at least for me, and when I say doubt myself, I mean my gut feeling that this could actually be a real person that I'm engaging with, not with a scammer. And so this is when I say I'm doubting myself, that's what I mean. And so they in turn use this information and they throw it back at you. And this is how you have this give and take. You have this fake relationship. But of course, in my case, I didn't think it was a fake relationship. And then the doubts that I had, he would say something that it would make me again think that I might be talking to an actual person. So this is what I'm saying. This is when I use the word grooming, and which is a weird word to use in this particular situation. But this is what they do. They groom their victim. They try to get in your head and then of course in your heart. So when they say, I need this money, can you give it to me? Can you lend it to me? Can you send me this phone, or can you give me this particular gift card, or whatever it is, because you think you have this relationship and you have this knowledge of this other person, then that's when we fall for this stuff. So I hope I'm making sense. And if you guys have any questions, please ask them. Also, please remember to subscribe. So whenever you do subscribe is when you'll receive a notification that I put on a new video. So thank you for your time. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.